Rain freckled the late afternoon sidewalk, turning the city into a mirror of streetlights and umbrellas. A crosswalk flashed its red hand at the end of the block, while delivery bikes sliced past spray from the curb. In the middle of it all, a slim wheelchair eased forward. Careful over the cracks, the girl steering with practiced hands. Laughter flickered from a pack of teens under a bus shelter. A horn blared. Someone looked away. Someone else pulled out a phone. And then one shove, a gasp, a wheel kissing the gutter, and the whole street seemed to hold its breath. What happened next? No one expected. If you believe no one should face cruelty alone, tap like now. Subscribe to Kindness Wins and ring the bell, so more quiet acts of courage are seen right when they matter most. Maya takes this route every day. She's 17, a junior who knows every slant in the pavement, every treacherous dip near the bakery where the drain is never fixed. Her chair is matte black, clean but not flashy, and scuffed on the footrest from curb battles won. There's a tiny chrome bell zip-tied to the frame. It chimes a soft, bright note when she hits a seam. Most people don't notice her until they have to make room. When they do, they talk over her head, ask questions to whoever is pushing, even when she's the only one there. She's used to it, but she's also learned a certain smile, an eyebrow tilt that says, "I'm here, talk to me." After school, she stops at the library 2 blocks down to finish the robotics code. Her backpack is heavy with notebooks and an Allen key set she actually uses. Last month, she adjusted her casters herself after watching 3 videos and stubbornly refusing to wait for the repair shop. Under the pocket flap, she keeps a spiral notebook labeled Wins, where she writes small victories. Made Ms. Chen laughs. Learned to hop a curb without scraping. Didn't flinch when the bus braked too hard. Her world is ordinary on purpose. Ordinary means predictable. Ordinary means less risk. But there's more to her than the careful route and the quiet smile. When her younger cousin got teased, Maya volunteered to speak to his class about accessibility, turning nerves into something steely and surprising even to her. When the neighbor on the 3rd floor needed groceries during a snowstorm, she called a volunteer group and arranged a chain of deliveries, like an air traffic controller. There's also the bell on her chair. It's not just cute. It was a gift from a woman on the block who rides a motorcycle and runs a Saturday breakfast for kids who need a safe place to be. For luck, the woman had said, eyes crinkling. For noise when you need to be noticed. Maya had smiled and promised she'd ring it only when it mattered. The rain picks up, a sudden curtain. Maya waits at the edge of the crosswalk, scans for turning cars, and leans into her push when the light turns white. The right wheel catches a crack, she corrects. Smooth, practiced, but a group of teens breaks from the shelter and spills into the crosswalk beside her. It starts the way cruelty often does, sideways, jokey, as if no one is really responsible. A sneaker nudges her backpack. A shoulder drifts into her path and stops, forcing her to brake. "Yo," someone says, laughing. "Race you to the curb," another voice. Lower. Bet she can't even get up the ramp. Maya keeps her voice level. "Move, please." The leader, a boy with a slick, wet hood and a restless energy, pivots in front of her. "Come on, we're just playing." His hand flicks toward her wheel. Not quite touching, then tapping, then pushing. It's nothing. Then it isn't. Her chair skews. The left caster bumps the curb lip, and suddenly gravity has an opinion. Rainwater spatters her face. She locks her brakes. Someone behind her snickers. Someone else holds a phone higher. The logic of the moment tilts. If no one is stopping this, is it really happening? Stop. Maya projects the word from her diaphragm like her physio taught her. The bell on her frame shivers, a tiny note in the noise. A delivery driver pauses, torn. A couple under an umbrella detours wide, eyes down. The boy's hand lands firmer on her rim. "Relax, we're helping." He shoves. And her right front wheel slips off, dipping hard into the gutter. Cold water slaps up her sleeve. Heat flashes at the base of her skull. "Enough," she says, each letter a brick. She unlocks and rocks back, trying to reset the wheel. The group closes, laughter taking on that thin, sharp edge that says it's safer to be the one laughing than the one being laughed at. A car honks closer. A bus exhales at the stop. For a second, Maya feels very small in a very large city. Then, faint under the rain and traffic, something else begins. A low, layered sound, like distant thunder rolling over the avenue. The rumble grows, one engine, then another. Then a chorus and heads turn up the block. 3 motorcycles glide into the lane. Not fast, not reckless, just present. Matte chrome, rain beads on leather, and headlamps cutting a clean line through the gray. They roll to a stop without boxing anyone in. One rider, compact, with a silver braid tucked under her helmet, drops a boot and kills her engine. The sudden quiet is startling. She lifts her visor and her eyes land level with Maya's. "You okay?" she asks, voice steady, carrying. Maya inhales. Her jacket sleeve drips. "Not yet." The other riders dismount, unhurried. No shouting. No puffed chests. One steps to the curb and raises a palm to slow the turning car. The driver, grateful for an excuse to be decent, stops and nods. The silver-braided rider kneels on the wet street, so she's eye to eye with Maya. "You want a hand up or just space?" "Space first," Maya says. "Then a hand." "Copy that." The woman's gloved fingers tap the bell on Maya's frame. A soft acknowledgement. "Nice signal." 2 riders pivot, creating a human lane, back to the teens and open to Maya. Their jackets read "Guardians" in small, stitched letters, not a threat but a promise. The boy in the hood laughs too loudly now, the script slipping. "What, you gonna fight us?" "Nah," one rider says, voice easy, helmet still on. "We don't do fights. We do safety." Silence. The word lands heavier than any insult. "Here," the kneeling rider says to Maya, placing her hand under the frame, not on Maya, waiting. When Maya nods, they lift smoothly together, resetting the caster onto the ramp. The wheel clicks home. Maya exhales, the street widening again. "Words for them?" the rider asks, not looking at the teens. Maya glances up. The crowd has shifted. The delivery driver has stepped closer. The couple has stopped. The power in the moment has relocated. "I'm not a joke," Maya says. "And I deserve room." The boy opens his mouth, closes it. One of the riders tilts his head. "You can step back, or you can help us escort her to the other side so the cars stop pretending they don't see." There's a flicker, embarrassment, decency, the first tug of consequence. The boy mutters, "Whatever," and takes a half step back. It's not an apology. It's not nothing. The silver-braided rider rises, taps her helmet, and smiles at Maya. "We were headed to the community center. Breakfast run. You ring that bell and we show up faster." Maya's eyebrows lift. "You knew?" "We know the sound," she says. "And folks who need space. They don't parade. They don't grandstand." The riders simply walk their bikes beside Maya, engines off, forming a quiet corridor through the rain. The delivery driver blocks for a second from the other side. The umbrella couple peels off to hold a car a beat longer. The whole block, for half a minute, agrees to be gentle. At the opposite curb, the riders wait while Maya adjusts her gloves. "You good to roll?" one asks. "Yeah," Maya says, and then, after a beat, "Thanks." "Anytime," the silver braid replies. "We do Saturday breakfast at the center. No pressure, just company." The teens hover, awkward steam rising. One of them, not the leader, mumbles, "Sorry." It's small. It's real. The leader stares at the wet pavement as if reading something he can't quite pronounce. The riders don't demand more. There's a dignity in the way they leave space for people to choose better without being shamed into it. Before they go, the silver braid touches the little bell again. "Good call," she says. Maya rolls a few feet, then stops and turns back. "Hey," she says to the group under the shelter. "Next time, just ask if I need help." She hears her own voice, strong, ordinary, hers, and feels a quiet click of something locking into place inside. Word spreads the way it always does. A post from the delivery driver, a caption that says, "Kindness wins," a photo of wet streets, and 3 bikes like sentinels. By the end of the week, the community center's Saturday breakfast is a little more crowded. The boy with the hood shows up once, hands shoved deep in his pockets. He stacks chairs. He doesn't talk much. "That's okay." Maya adds a new win to her notebook. Didn't shrink. Asked for space. Found allies. Here's what the afternoon teaches. What it can teach any of us. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it kneels in the rain and asks what you need. Kindness isn't soft. It's precise. It draws a line, holds it with integrity, and invites everyone to step over it together. Most of all, dignity grows when strangers decide to see each other and act. If this put a lump in your throat, don't let it stop at feelings. Share this to be someone's shield today. Tell us in the comments about a moment you stood up or wished someone had. Subscribe and ring the bell for kindness wins. Together we choose dignity over silence.